man. So I'm just gonna scroll through it, so everybody can who hasn't really seen the list, so you don't have to go out on the website or whatever. We're gonna scroll through it and then we're gonna talk about it. Do you see me on the screen, or you see the joint on the screen? Are you
You
watching,
want to
Coop?
know what? No, I haven't.
No, no. If you're not watching, that's fine. I just wanted to see
I'm
what it
about to
looked like.
say, I'm not watching our shit, Mike.
Okay,
I'm
cool,
doing
cool.
work, nigga. No, I'm playing. I got you. I'm up. I'm up. I'm on it.
All
Okay.
right.
Up. No. See, now I gotta cut the volume
Yeah,
down.
you gotta mute that real quick. Okay.
My bad. My bad,
No,
fam. I'm
you
waiting
good.
on
You
this sec.
good.
Okay.
You good.
Okay. What's up? So now, no, I can't see my list, but I think I'm a little
No, no,
delayed.
not your list. I'm talking about. I got the Rolling Stone list up.
Oh yeah, I see. You got Travis Scott up right now,
Okay.
right?
Yep. All right. So,
It's very problematic.
yeah,
At 200.
Astro World's 200. 99. We got Juice World. Boom. I'm not gonna say all of these. I'm just gonna scroll through them. We'll stop. Stop me when you see something crazy.
Stop you when I see something crazy?
Yeah, stop me when you see something crazy. I'm cool.
Astro World's at 200, Mike. We could have stopped right there.
Okay. All right.
Astro World's at 200, Mike.
Astro World's at 200.
Let's
Draco the
keep going.
Ruler. Cold Devil.
Hold on,
190.
hold on. They got Bandana at 197.
They got Nipsey's
What
Crenshaw
Bandana
at
is.
189.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Hold on. Long Live ASAP shouldn't be that low.
I think you got a delay going on, but yeah, I don't think it should be that
You
low
know I
either.
live in the woods.
Okay, so we got War Report at 187. I think that was on purpose. 187. I don't like
187.
this one.
War Report.
I don't like
That'd be
MC
so funny.
Light as a Rock being at 185.
Why not?
I think it should be lower than that. I mean, not lower. I think it should be higher than that.
Why?
Oh, we'll talk about it. I'm just gonna
Okay.
scroll through them right now
No,
because
I'm scrolling.
because
I see you
they
scrolling.
got stuff like Little Sims. Sometimes I'm an introvert at 180
I get what you're saying.
because of things like that. In a Major Way is 178.
That needs to be higher. Camp Low needs to be higher. I put Camp Low higher. Camp Low. Oh, can I tell you something I did with my list?
What's that?
I don't do that whole compilation soundtrack shit.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Flo
No
Millie,
Rough Riders, no sound bombing, no none of that. None of
Flo
that.
Millie at 172. That Ho Eyes You Hear.
Hold on. What did you even thinking about the fact that West Side Gun's only album that made it here is Fly God, and
We're gonna
there's like
talk
no
about
Pray
that.
for Paris Love.
We're gonna
Yeah.
talk about that.
I want to talk about the fact that West Side Gun had one album in here, and it's like that's what I mean. It's like, oh well, I know you don't know shit. It's like y'all just tried to go back to origins of his stuff.
Yet
It's
Pray
like,
for Haiti is on here at
Pray for Haiti.
168.
I'm sorry. Pray for. I love Pray for Haiti. Hold on. First of all, and let me just say this and say this respectfully. I didn't put any album that came out in 2021 on my list at all because it hasn't been enough time.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Pray for Paris and Alfredo are the only albums that have come out in the last 3 years that I thought even deserved to make any sort of list.
What about Polo G Die Legend being 161?
That doesn't even. That's not a top 250 album. So next. And I say this, and I want to be clear about this. Well, KD2 and Magic aren't on my list either because of that, because that all just came out last year. You feel me? We got to be fair across the board.
This one
Because there were
stuck
a
out
couple
to me,
times I was like, I
man.
should put Magic in here somewhere, and then I was like, well, this shit's only came out on Christmas Eve last year.
Lil
So-
Nas X's Montero or whatever it's called. Yeah, Montero is 151, and it
Hold
came
on.
out
Let's
last
back
year.
up. 156 and 155. Quick as the name, and the sun always rises in the east. And Lil Nas X Montero is ahead of that. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's a big problem. Quick as the name is it might be the most essential West Coast rap album that doesn't get discussed.
We got a super chat here. I want to get to that real quick. You know what? I might have to come back to this. All right. DJ Tim Space King says Earl Sweatshirt first album produced sound like early RZA Method Man to Cal. It's my favorite. My favorite. My number one. My number two is ODB's first album. I love that record too. Okay.
He likes the gritty RZA production stuff. The Roots have no business being on this list with How I Got Over.
Yeah, I mean, How I Got Over being chosen over Philadelphia Half-Life is beyond me. Okay, we're gonna keep going through here. Run the Jewels 2. Oh, now this is where I had a problem too, and it's in my notes. I'm gonna get to that. LL Cool J's radio being at 147. I just think that that's just disrespect. Oh man, what happened to my? I think the damn Rolling Stone cutting me out.
You got haters.
They don't want me. They don't want me to break. They don't want us to break down this list. Okay. Oh, another problem I have. Common B being 145.
Hold on. Can
I
we
love
stop for a
Rock
second?
Marciano's Reloaded being 144 though.
Okay, so I could understand if you don't have radio. Radio needs to be in the top 100. It's too important not to be in the top 100.
It's too important. It's too important.
But to have
and you got Lil Uzi's Eternal a take
when you
over
have
that.
B at 145, I like that Rock's on the list. Rock probably deserves to be on the list somewhere. I don't know where he would fall. He wouldn't. None of his projects would fall in my top 100.
I like the listening being on here, but I think the Minstrel Show is the
Minstrel Show is a superior effort.
Yeah. Now here's another problem.
Hold on one second. No. This is important. Like they got B at 145. That's where I'm going to have to start questioning your hip hop ear. You feel what I'm saying? Because now you're taking one of the best pieces of work that I think I've ever heard, and you're literally placing it like 100 steps further back than it deserves to be, probably. You feel what I'm saying?
Literally 100 steps back. Because to be real, when we talk about hip hop in the 2000s, B's top 5. In the early, like from that decade, 2000 to 2009, the first decade of hip hop, B's top 5.
I mean, it's top 3. I mean,
yeah.
What you got? I got Supreme Clientele, and then I got B probably.
I got
B.
How did
my list go? No. Look, you making me have to check. Hold on, let me get out of the chat right quick and check my list. I'm pretty certain.
No, we're gonna get to your list. Let's stay on topic. Let's stay on topic. We're gonna get to your list. Now, it was written at 140.
You see my list.
It was written at 140.
I don't.
Okay.
It might be his best mic performance. How are you gonna have his best mic performance?
The City Girls is 138.
I mean, so if you want to, we can have the It Was Written Illmatic conversation now. They don't like Nas. That's the conversation. And next.
Okay. Slum Village, Volume 2. Fantastic. I love that record. 137.
Where do they have it? Well, hold on. Where do they have Fantastic at?
Fantastic's at 137, but Doja Cat's at 136.
See, the problem isn't that Fantastic is at 137. I think that might be appropriate. The problem is the albums that they're placing in front of an album like that.
Yeah.
That placement might be
we got Doja Cat's Planet Her in front of It Was Written and Fantastic Volume 2.
Hold on.
Let me keep going.
Okay.
Ricky Rose with the Teflon Don joint. Oh, I got a problem here too. Me Against the World's 134.
It's very problematic. So yes, Mike, in the 2000s, I believe, according to my list, it would go Supreme Clientele B and Get Rich or Die Trying if we're going 2000 to 2009, according to Coop.
Okay.
With The Blueprint falling right in.
I think B's a better album than The Blueprint.
I have B at 25 and I have The Blueprint at 35. So do I.
All right. All Eyes on Me. Not All Eyes on Me. Excuse me. Me Against the World at 134. Rolling Stone should be ashamed of themselves for that.
Me Against the World is at 140.
134.
Isn't Dear Mama on there?
It is.
Okay, Dear Mama's a top 100 rap album, Mike. Next.
It's insane. Killer Mike rap music is right below that at 133. And I love Killer Mike.
I like
there's
that.
No
that might
way
be a little
in the
high
world.
For that album, though, Mike. That might be a little high for that. That's a little high for that album.
Then you got Forest Hill Drive at 132.
That's low.
Then we got Fish Scale at 131. You're right, that is low. Mecca and the
might
Soul
be
Brother. Oh, this is the one I have a problem with. Playboy Cardi, Whole Lotta Red, 129. That's better than Me Against the World. So, all right. I'm going to tell you guys a story. Like, I listened to Whole Lotta Red. I think it came out on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
That shit sounded like noise, man. That's one of those projects where I was like, am I getting old and just don't really understand what's going on? Because I don't see the appeal. And to the point where you're telling me that you got this ranked over Me Against the World. I'll keep going because we can go into all this. Big Pun, Capital Punishment. East 1999 is at 127. Capital Punishment's at 128.
Okay, so right there, I think like,
and then
I have,
no, this is where the haymakers come though, Coop. Not to interrupt you. Right after that, you got Savage Mode at 126, and I love 21 Savage and Metro. You know, peace to his family and everything too. But come on, man. Savage Mode over Capital Punishment and East 1999?
No, that's wrong. So East 1999 made my top 100 list barely, and Capital Punishment fell right outside the 100. That was one of the albums I was considering that didn't make my top 100. But it would probably fall somewhere between 1 to 120. Sorry, my daughter baked some apple cinnamon muffins.
You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta partake in that. All right, so 125 is Drake. If you're reading this, it's too late. Oh, and then
that's actually, hold on, stop for a second. I actually thought that was too low for that album, and I put it higher because I think that's a top 100 rap album.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think it's his best project in my personal opinion, even though he didn't write it, but whatever. Speaker Box Love Below. I don't think this should have been included, especially if ATLians and Southern Playalistic isn't included. So.
Well, this is what I said when it's like, well, I don't do compilations. I don't do soundtracks. I don't do Lauryn Hill singing.
Yeah, we're taking that off too. We're going to talk about that.
I don't do Missy and Timberland because that's not rap. That's Missy and Timberland. I don't know what that is, Mike. I'm still trying to figure out what that is. I've been trying to figure out my whole adulthood life what it is that they just did to us.
Souls of Mischief.
In a beautiful way.
All right, so 123, Souls of Mischief. All right, and then we got Nerd. Why is Nerd included here? And I love Nerd. That's not a hip-hop album.
It's not, Mike.
That's a rock album. I always thought.
It.
And I love In Search Of. And then they got Tribe at 121 with People's Instinctive. And this is where it gets disrespectful. Right under that, and I got love for Young Thug. Y'all know I say Young Thug's a legend. But you got The Barter 6 over People's Instinctive. Come on,
and you call me disrespectful, Mike.
Come on, man.
That's disrespectful to People's Instinctive.
Missy Elliott Under Construction at 117. Jungle Brothers, straight out the jungle. Love that record. I'm just going to scroll through it, but here was where I want to stop too. The Black Album, 113. The Disrespect.
Let's stop.
The Disrespect is all around. And then right under that, and no disrespect to Rhapsody, you got Layla's Wisdom, like right above that. No one will tell you. No one will tell you Layla's Wisdom is better than the Black Album.
How can your hip-hop ear have the Blueprint at what, number 3?
Yeah. And the Black Album at 113.
Black Album at 113.
You literally have 110 spots. You think that you think the Blueprint and the Black Album were 110 spots different?
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
The Blueprint is better produced than the Black Album.
But he's rapping better.
I'll take the songs on the Black Album.
I think he's rapping better on the Black Album too. There's not a point on the Blueprint where he's spazzing like he did on What More Can I Say?
If he has an all-time great delivery, like if his delivery is like top 5 or top 3-ish, the Black Album is the evidence of that more than anything else, including the Blueprint and Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, I would like to ask.
I love me some Threat, Mike.
I would like to ask any writer, how do you have the Blueprint and the Black Album 110 spots apart? Some people don't even, some people debate over which album is better between the two.
I mean, that's 2 and 3 on my list in terms of him. It goes Reasonable Doubt, the Blueprint, the Black Album. And I always say, it's like, well, if you tell me that you like the Black Album more than the Blueprint, I'm not going to argue with you because he's rhyming crazy on there.
Cool. I agree with you 100%. And you know who else agrees with us? That's Jay-Z's actual order of his albums as well. Reasonable Doubt, the Blueprint, and the Black Album.
Does he have Volume 1 at number 4? 97 Hov? Does he have 97 Hov at number 4? Probably not.
By any means necessary is 111.
That's disrespectful.
Biz going off is 110. Breaking Adams 109. Damn.
Hold on.
Daytona 108. I like that. But
I got Breaking Adams at 92. So they're in the wheelhouse with Breaking Adams. They're only I got Breaking Adams at 92. You thought it should have been higher?
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
It's okay. I mean, it's okay where it's at, but I know that's It's a great album, actually. Yeah.
I think it's rated. I think sometimes it gets overrated. That's why I got it at 92.
106 is my album, man. Old Dirty's Return to the 36 Chambers.
No, I think that's about right. I think that's a perfect rating for that album.
105, Chance the Rapper Coloring Book. Can we talk about Chance real quick?
Can we take him off the list first before we do it?
Chance has zero impact. What's Chance's impact in this game?
I told you I didn't know he still rap. Does he still rap?
I don't know.
Right.
Don't ask me.
Thug
Motivation 101 is actually at 101, and I think they did that on purpose. I think that's corny. That
might be a little high for that album, actually, Mike, and I love Jeezy.
Okay. Now let me get to the top 100, and we're gonna discuss this. But I figured it would be important for us to go through like this. Raising Hell 100, The Carter 2 99, Company Flow 98. That's an important album. What do you think about this? What say you? Oh man, they just cut me out again. Let me reload this thing. What do you say about Hell Have No Fury being 97? What do you say about Hell Have No Fear being 97, yet Lord Willing being 12? Spoiler alert.
That's the problematic part. So pretty much y'all heard Grinding and made up your mind. Like, how about this? If you put Grinding on Hell Hath No Fury, it's not even, it's like maybe the 4th or 5th best record, maybe.
Trap music at 95. Oh, the 90s got some bangers. You got De La Soul Is Dead at 94. You got Death Certificate at 93. Criminal Minded at 91.
No. Let's stop right there. Death Certificate and Criminal Minded are at 93 and 91. Now I want to know how old the people are.
Oh, they old. We're going to get to that too.
Oh, they are?
Yeah,
they don't know shit.
How can you have the guy one of the guys that you guys rode on, I forgot his name. Was it Will, the writer? He wrote, what was it? It was a review for, I think it was KD2, and you guys were riding on him. He was a part of this. I'm gonna put the images up. Yeah.
He's on the panel?
Yeah, I'll go through the people's names and everything too.
I like how they put themselves out on Front Street, so we didn't have to. That was great. That's a smart move.
Well, Like Water for Chocolate's 86. I actually think that's about right for that album.
I have it higher, but yeah.
The Slim Shady LP, 85.
No.
All right.
He didn't make my top 100, unfortunately. And the Marshall Mathers LP where'd they have the Marshall Mathers LP? They put it like in the top 10?
They had it at 25.
Oh.
They hear what people are saying about this man's catalog. So they were
right,
very,
so they probably, that's
strategic.
Why Illmatic and Reasonable Doubt are right there to pacify.
TD's, yeah, that's who it is. Will Dukes. Yeah, he was one of the guys who picked this.
Oh,
he was a part of the panel.
He was involved again?
He was involved again, yeah. All right, so 82.
That would explain part of the reason why this list is like this. Didn't we just establish that he don't know shit?
82, The Great Adventures of Slick Rick. Whoa.
No, we pausing right there. No, we pausing right there because now I got a problem. This is what I'm talking about. So y'all are telling me.
We'll pause right there. I'm gonna let you get the.
Hold on.
I'm gonna give you the camera back.
You just named Death Certificate.
Mm-hmm.
Criminal Minded.
Yeah.
The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick. While we're going through the 80s and the 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not of hip hop, but in terms of where the album is ranked all time.
Yep.
You don't know shit. Right here. Right here is where I can give you evidence that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. If you didn't know what you were talking about, I want to get this straight. Death Certificate.
Yep. No. I want to stop. Let me go back. Let me rewind.
The Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick, which arguably has 4 of the 50 to 100 greatest rap songs on it on one album.
De La Soul Is Dead was like 94, and I want to say Death Certificate was 93. And then 91, you had Criminal Minded.
De La Soul Is Dead, Mike. But that don't got shit on no Death Certificate or Criminal Minded.
But the Great Adventures.
No, I love De La Soul Is Dead.
Great Adventures of Slick Rick birthed some of the greatest ever. Not to mention, it's one of the greatest in itself. Better than all
those albums you just named. Like it's just. They don't know. They don't know no better. Mike.
I mean, you got A Children's Story, you got Mona Lisa, you got Hey Young World, and you got Teenage Love.
But isn't this
Go ahead.
But don't these publications call Nas a misogynist? How do you feel when like Greatest Adventures of Slick Rick comes on and treat her like a prostitute's the first song getting played? You think it's gonna get proper run from them? Because they're quick to audit black culture and how we treat our women, you know.
Yeah, but Eminem could go out there and make a record about killing his child's mother, and it ranked number 25. So who knows?
Yeah.
What'd he say? I'm gonna kill you. You ain't nothing but a girl to me. I mean, I don't think anyone's been more hateful towards women in records than Eminem has. Just saying. Okay.
I'm just saying.
82. Great Adventures of Slick Rick. And then they got Diggable Planets Blowout Comb at 81. And I love Diggable Planets, but they would even tell you, come on, man.
Do you love Diggable Planets?
Earl Sweatshirt at 80 with some rap songs. And then you got Follow the Leader at 79. And then
so
we got no.
Rap songs next to Follow.
Hold on. It gets crazier. Follow the Leader at 79. And then my girl Iggy Azalea, Broke Expensive Taste at 78. Okay, I'll keep going.
Making it hard to entertain.
Watch the Throne, 77.
Watch the Throne's not a top 100 rap album. It's not a top 150 rap album. It's not a top 200 rap. Matter of fact, Watch the Throne would make my top 250.
76, Hard to Earn. Gangstar. Oh, and then at 75 we got Megan Thee Stallion, Fever, which would be over Follow the Leader, Great Adventures of Slick Rick.
They're trying too hard to appease a generation to garner notoriety on this list. I want to say this again, damn it, they don't got to be black people. Get you some hip hop people. Stop doing this dumb shit. If you want to cover hip hop topics, get you some hip hop people. Pay some people who are actually involved and immersed in hip hop culture.
Fear of a Black Planet, 74. I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to get through this real quick because we're going to go.
I have it higher than that, but I'm going to give them marks for actually knowing what the hell Fear of a Black Planet is.
Oh, man. Bizarre Ride. Love that. Far Side. That's 73.
Not a top 100 album.
Dr. Octagon, 72.
It's not.
Queen Latifah, All Hail the Queen, 71. Whoa.
No.
The Fugees, The Score at 70. Iron Man, 69. Juvenile, 400 Degrees, 68. I love that. Ghetto Boys, We Can't Be Stopped, 67. 3-6 Mafia, Mystic Style, 66. I'm going to talk about that.
No, stop. That's where Mr. Don't Play. That's what Mr. Don't Play from Project Pat goes in at. That's where Mr. Don't Play goes in.
Mr. Don't. Somebody was like, well, you know what? Maybe it's a generational thing, but my thing is no. Miss E So Addictive came out in 2001. Mr. Don't Play came out in 2001. You don't have that at 7. And Mr. Don't Play not on here at all. And it has Chicken Head. And the record that you guys put at 16 from Cardi B, Invasion of Privacy, stole Chicken Head for its hit single. What are we talking about? Okay, well, I'll get back to the list.
But you digress, Mike. Get back to the list. Go ahead. Okay. As you were.
Below Mind State, 65. I like that.
I like that.
Get Rich or Die Trying, 64. Black Star, 63. Okay. MF Doom, Operation Doomsday, 62. Scarface, The Diary, 61. Kendrick Lamar, Damn at 60. Life After Death at 59.
Can we pause again?
You want to pause on that?
You have Ready to Die at number 1. And you have Life After Death at 59.
So Ready to Die and Life After Death are 58 spots apart.
You don't know. Like, this is, no. Real talk. It's like when you have a 110 album gap between the Blueprint and the Black Album. When you have a 58 album gap between Ready to Die and Life After Death, you don't know what you're talking about. Period. Like, period. Like this is what I'm talking about. It's like, no. I'm not here to provide evidence. It's like, when you saying that, it's like, no. I want to do math now. It's like, so you have 58 albums between these albums. He's a better hook writer. He's a better MC. He's a better song maker. Even most of the production is better. The songs are more memorable. And you think that it is 58 slots below. And you think that Ready to Die, which just on an engineering level, you can tell was recorded at 2 separate times, is the greatest rap album of all time. when, in most people's opinion, the greatest rap album of all time literally got released about 6-7 weeks before. You know nothing. Like, you haven't done your research. You haven't done your homework. And here's how horrible they are. I went into the Shade Room this morning, and even the people in the Shade Room who I know nothing about hip-hop were saying, Illmatic's not number one. What are these people doing?
You know,
it's bad when people are in the Shade Room saying that.
That's why I thought it was important to go through the. You know, that's why I thought it was. That's why I thought it was important to go through the whole list, because it's not even just about what's number one and what's in the top 10.
It's the gap.
The whole thing is ridiculous. When you got the Black Album at 113 and the Blueprint at 3, people need to see this. Mm-hmm. We need to go piece by piece, and it's cool. We got time. We got time. You know what I mean? And that's why I love the fact that you guys tune into our show, and we really are gonna dissect this, and we're gonna go piece by piece, because they think people ain't gonna go through this. They think people are just gonna pay attention to the top 10.
Do you remember when Jamie Foxx, like, I forget which comedy show it was, where it's like, well, I'm not saying she's a crackhead, but it's like crack-ish. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying that they are some crackheads. I'm just saying they doing crackhead shit with this list. You feel what I'm saying?
I feel you. So, we're at 59, Life After Death. 58, America's Most. 57, Beastie Boys, License to Ill. And 56, No Name, Room 25. This came out in 2018. You want to know what?
I might have done a disservice. You know, everybody's list is different. I didn't include License to Ill in my top 100, and I probably could have or should have, but keep going.
What do you think about No Name, Room 25 from 2018 being ahead of America's Most?
No, I don't think about that. That's why I like it. Just going to let you keep talking, because this is more evidence they don't know what they're talking about. This is ahead of Follow the Leader, which has Microphone Fiend and Follow the Leader and Lyrics of Fury on it. Like, those 3 songs are better than, like, that whole album.
A Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders.
Where do they have it?
That's 55. And then right after that, we got Migos, Culture, 54. Listen, you know
that's
me.
very problematic.
You know me, that's super problematic.
I like Culture. Culture's a great album.
I love Culture. And, you know, I love the Migos. And I was happy for the Migos. I listened to T-Shirt the other day, man. But you're not going to sit here and listen to Culture and listen to Midnight Marauders and tell me that Culture's a better album. It's just not.
We're not a comparable album.
No, it's not even. No. Okay, we'll keep going. Salt and Pepper, Hot, Cool, and Vicious, 53. I'm cool with that being what it is. Kanye West, The College Dropout, 52.
I feel like Very Necessary is a better album, though.
It is.
Is it not?
But it's Very not as impactful as the other one. Yeah, it is. I think that the impact part of it, I get it. You know, I'm fine with that. But again, y'all niggas
it didn't impact like that, though, Mike. That was the thing about it.
This is my thing, and I'm just going to say it.
Very Necessary impacted.
I'm just going to say it, and you kind of alluded to it with the Megan thing, with the Fever. The fact that y'all don't have LL's Bad on this list, and you got Radio at like 147, but you got Hot and Vicious here at where it is, sounds like you're trying too hard. And I get it, right. You know, women don't get included all the time in hip-hop discussions, and women are doing their thing in hip-hop, and women should get included more. But this sounds like you're trying too hard to be inclusive in that, right? You know what I'm saying? And I say that respectfully. And I only say that because justify for me how Hot and Vicious is here, and Fever's here, and Radio is up in like 147. Come on, man. And Bad's not even on the list. Like Bigger and Def is not even on the list. What are we doing?
No, shout out to the women, okay? And I don't think there's a hip-hop media organization, publication, entity that unpacks the dynamic and even discusses the spirit of women in hip-hop with the consistency that we do. This feels like they're trying too hard. Like, I just love being able to pull up and say, Che Noir made one of the best rap albums this year. She's getting Album of the Year and MC of the Year contention because she just fucking earned that shit. Yeah. You don't have to gotta push. Like, let the shit be there, because here's the thing. Like, Funknified and Hardcore on my list, because you want to know what? Like, they deserve to be there. I didn't have to force it when I thought about it. It's like, no. Hardcore deserves to be here. Funknified deserves, you know?
Hardcore, but see, this is the thing. We talked about this on one of our earlier episodes, too. One of the first pieces that we did that really blew up. Hardcore's at number 19, but y'all totally left Foxy Brown off this list. Mm-hmm. What's going on with this industry and people just shitting on Foxy Brown? You know what I'm saying? And acting like she never existed.
Told you she's been blackballed.
Because they did a whole they did a whole ABC special on ABC Network when they were promoting that Queens show that Eve and all of them on.
Mm-hmm.
They highlighted females in hip hop and nobody said anything about Foxy Brown. And then now I see a list like this. Foxy Brown's not even on it.
You're not allowed to, Mike. They'll cut your water off if you talk about her. They didn't tell you that.
That's crazy, man.
They'll cut your water off if you talk about her. These niggas the worst.
51, we got the Roots.
Hey, look here. No. I want everybody to understand this. I'm not saying this. First of all, this is not a Nas channel. Like, Jay has too much influence in this hip-hop sphere. That is why I say some of the things that I say. It is not fair for one man to be dictating some of the paces that he has paced. That Foxy Brown shit is on him.
You think that's I don't know that. We don't know.
No, he got something to do with that shit, Mike. And I'm tired of people acting like he not the guy that was originally behind all the shit. How about that?
Because when her and Kim were going back and forth,
Mike, he blackballed her. He got that ball rolling. Be a man about it. Say you fucked up.
All right, let me get back to this list. So we got the Roots, 51, right? Things Fall Apart. And then we're going to get to this last 50. But yeah, I want to talk about this Foxy thing more too. Cause
she been blackballed, Mike.
She don't deserve this. She don't deserve this.
She doesn't.
50, we got EPMD Strictly Business. 49, we got Straight Outta Compton. Damn.
No, okay, you want to know what? Straight Outta Compton for me.
The impact alone, though.
We keep on saying that, and that's what I mean. I found out something about myself doing this list. It's like, no, I like it when the music is there and the impact is there. See, Criminal Minded.
I feel you. But again, if we're going to be consistent, you got Hardcore at 19, right?
Right.
48, Dilla Donuts. We got 47, Missy Super Duper Fly. We got...
They love some Missy.
They love Missy. Again, trying too hard. That's all I'm saying. 46.
Missy got more albums in there than Biggie, than Nas, and Tupac, than Rakim, than KRS-One, than Cool G Rap, than Big Daddy Kane, than Slick Rick. I want people to I love Missy.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. I mean, listen, man. Like you said, inclusive is great, but earn it, man. And I think that everyone would feel the same way, right?
If she has a rap album, Super Duper Fly is the rap album. It should get top 100 to 200 consideration.
All right, Tyler, the Creator, 46. Call me if you get lost.
It's too soon. I told you I didn't pick
anything. And that's ahead of Follow the Leader and all that stuff. Okay. Mama Said Knock You Out, LL Cool J at 45.
Hold on, stop, Mike. They put Mama Said Knock You Out at 45?
Yeah.
That's why they put Radio back. You can't be hazmat now because I have radio somewhere where they have Mama Said Knock You Out.
What about Bigger and Definite?
I understand how important radio is because Mike, if we're being objective, I'm putting radio in when really I feel like putting bad in, and I would move radio just objectively. If we're taking the impact feel of it off, because he's rap's first superstar and first solo MC, that is the impact of radio.
That is the impact of radio.
But Bad and Mama Said Knock You Out are better. But about what you said, I put radio in my top 100, but in my top 125 would be actually Mama Said Knock You Out, Mr. Smith, and Bad in the top 125. All three of those albums would make my top 120. Well, I mean, I kind of already started making it. So, that's how I know it's going in there.
Is my screen stuck? Because it's stuck on Tyler. It's not moving.
Hold on. I'm a few different places right now. Let me jump back into this.
I think my joint's stuck on Tyler. Hold on 1 second, guys, because I don't want to do that. A little technical difficulties here. Okay. All right, cool. Jizza Liquid Swords, 44. Run DMC self-titled album, 43.
I'm not about to let that slide. They got Liquid Swords at 44. You don't know anything.
It gets worse, man. Big Daddy Kane at 42. With All Hail the Kane, and we got Late Registration at 41. Then we have this thing is loading crazy. Okay, here we go. The Chronic at 40. 39, we got the Carter 3. Good Kid, Mad City, 38. Only Built for Cuban Links, 37. Acid Rap by Chance the Rapper, 36. 35 Doggy Style. 34 the Sugar Hill Records Story.
Let's stop.
That was weird. 33 3 Feet High and Rising. Go ahead.
Okay, so they have 3 Feet High and Rising, the Purple Tape, Doggy Style, and the Chronic between 30 and 40.
Everybody get some thumbs up in the chat, man. We got almost 400 people in here. I'm gonna rewind that
everybody give those motherfuckers some thumbs down.
We're gonna get to them. All right. So here we go.
No.
Let's start at 40. Did you want to start at 40?
Doggy Style, the Chronic, 3 Feet High and Rising, and the Purple Tape between 30 and 40 on greatest rap albums ever.
You got the Chronic at 40. You got the Carter 3 at 39. We got Good Kid, Mad City at 38. We got Only Built for Cuban Links at 37. We got Acid Rap by Chance the Rapper at 36. You got Doggy Style at 35.
They put Acid Rap ahead of the Purple Tape?
Yes. You got Sugar Hill Records Story at 34. And then we have 3 Feet High and Rising at 33. Damn, what's 32? Oh, Chief Keef, Finally Rich at 32.
You joking? I want to see the fucking list. What the fuck?
Are you looking at the screen?
Not anymore.
Okay. Oh, and 31, Pink Friday, Nicki Minaj.
I bet you they did take it off their front page. I would take it off my front page too. Where is this list at? I'm listening, Mike.
Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique at 30.
You like Paul's Boutique more than License to Ill, don't you?
I do. But License to Ill got the records. I think Paul's Boutique is a better album. It's more creative and all of that. But when we talk about just straight bangers, it's tough to beat License to Ill on that. All right. 29, we got All Eyes on Me, Tupac. 28, The Infamous, Mobb Deep. 27, Aquemini by Outkast. 26, Reasonable Doubt. 25, the Marshall Mathers LP. 24, Illmatic.
They got the Marshall Mathers LP scrunched between Reasonable Doubt and Illmatic. They think they're slick. That's where we need to stop and talk.
I think we do need to talk about that. That was very slick, right?
They tried and they squeezed Tupac in at 29 and Mobb Deep in at 28. And Outkast, you see what they just did?
Mm-hmm.
You see what they just did? Hold on. Let me 29 is Tupac for All Eyes on Me.
Well, let me rewind. Okay.
No. 28 is The Infamous. No, Mike, I got a great memory, Mike.
Yep.
It goes All Eyes on Me, The Infamous, Aquemini, Reasonable Doubt, the Marshall Mathers LP, Illmatic.
Yep. They scrunched them in between all of them.
I would strangle them if I hadn't found the Lord. That album deserves nowhere to be considered with the rest of those all-time great hip-hop rap classics. These motherfuckers ain't shit, Mike. I need to get a swear jar. They got me.
You know what?
You see what they did, right?
You see what they did?
They tried to put the Marshall Mathers LP. I want everybody to hear this. They just tried to put Mike, you don't have to worry about going on any more rants. They just tried to put the Marshall Mathers LP in between Illmatic and Reasonable Doubt with a little Aquemini, The Infamous, and All Eyes on Me to back it up.
Yep, all kind of credibility surrounding that. Mad Max says, stop covering this list. Y'all look
cracker ass white ass country.
Mad Max says, stop covering this.
These are some sorry ass white people doing sorry white people shit.
Come on, Coop.
I'm sorry. Okay.
All right, come on. Mad Max says, stop covering this list. You're giving me a brain aneurysm. Okay, so yeah. If you missed it, 26, Reasonable Doubt. 25, Marshall Mathers LP by Eminem. And 24, Nas's Illmatic. Then you got 23, UGK's Riding Dirty, which I think is weird. Then you got 22, DMX's Dark and Hell is Hot.
No,
then
I like
21,
that choice.
Lil Wayne, The Drought, 3. 20, Future, Dirty Sprite 2.
These dusty, and they made sure he had a top 25 rap album. That's what I mean. You see how they did it? I want you to understand how foul they are. They slide Jay's debut and best piece of work outside of the top 25 to give this motherfucker some play.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me that this shit is not about race.
It's rigged,
That's
man.
what he's not about to do. That's because he's white.
Hardcore by Lil' Kim is at 19. Mad Villainy is at 18. I like that.
I don't.
Kanye West Yeezus is at 17.
Yeezus is a piece of trash, Mike.
And
Yeezus
this is the one that's been getting
album.
people worked up. Cardi
Yeezus
B
is trash. No, Mike, we can talk about Yeezus. Yeezus is trash.
I haven't listened to Yeezus in years. And you know me,
because
I'm a Kanye guy.
Mike, that's why you haven't listened to it, because it's trash.
So hardcore is better than Illmatic. And then we got Cardi B at 16 with Invasion of Privacy. Can we talk about Cardi B real quick?
That was the one that triggered everybody.
That was the one that triggered everybody. And you know,
that was the trigger.
I'm going to say this, man. I'm going to say this. Cardi B doesn't even make music. And I'm going to make a bold prediction. I don't think we're ever going to get another Cardi B album anyway. She was one and done. I think she's more of an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? Like, she might make some songs here and there. But Invasion of Privacy was 2018. I know we talked all our Kendrick shit while he was on his break, but at least he had other albums before it. She has no other projects. And Bodak Yellow was even before that. Like, she's not going to put out any more music. And why should she? Because at the end of the day, she's relevant today without even having to put music out. So why even risk putting out a dud? We're never going to get another Cardi B album. So with that being said, the fact that they're going to immortalize this project when honestly, it shouldn't even be on this list anyway. And now it's at 16. At the highest, it should be 150 or above or something, if you want to do that.
I mean, how long? They said 200 greatest rap albums?
Yeah.
I don't even think this is a top 300 or 400
I don't think so either. I'm being nice. Because again, this isn't inclusion,
no,
right?
I got done being nice. See, I kind of jumped through the list, but I stopped being nice the moment that I realized that shit went Illmatic and then went him, Reasonable Doubt, Do you hear what I just said? Illmatic, the Marshall Mathers LP, Reasonable Doubt, Aquemini, the infamous All Eyes on Me.
Yeah. They tucked them right in there nicely.
Remember when I said they were crackish and not crackheads? No, they some motherfucking crackheads. They some junkies.
We're going to get back to this list. We're almost through this. We're almost through
for VCRs. You know what I'm saying? They the bad type of junkies. They don't know nothing.
Cardi B Invasion of Privacy at number 16. Number 15, Paid in Full. Seriously, guys? Okay.
They're making my head hurt.
You put Invasion of Privacy next to Paid in Full. The disrespect. Ghostface Killer, Supreme Clientele 14. I like that. Yeah.
No, that's about right.
2001 13. And I'm going to get into that, because I think that they're starting to rate 2001 higher than it needs to be for whatever reason.
We can talk about that.
Clips, Lord Willin', number 12.
They're so wrong. I'm sorry, Lord Willing's not a top 100 rap album. Like Till the Casket Drops actually deserves more consideration than Lord Willin'. They just talking about grinding. They probably haven't even listened to the whole album.
Drake, Take Care at number 11.
They need to take care of this list and do better. Next.
Lauryn Hill, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill at 10.
That's not a rap album.
It's not. And I love Lauryn. It's not a rap album. A Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory at 9. Low End Theory's at 9. Into the 36 is at 8.
What's that, 8?
Into the 36 Chambers is at 8.
No, that's about right too. They did three things right.
They did that to appease us. And then look what they tucked in. Miss E, So Addictive at 7.
And that's where they lost me. So they tried to tuck the whole Wu-Tang shit in between Missy and Lauryn Hill.
Yeah. And then you got, at 6, you got Kanye West.
I'm not being funny. How many women are on this panel?
I'm going to get to that.
Okay. I'm just curious because it's like I'm all for women being in the sphere. Like Missy, what her and Timberland did really wasn't rap. And y'all don't have Foxy Brown in here. Y'all don't have Funkdafied in here. Y'all don't have Rhapsody's Eve in here. Y'all don't have Rod Digger's Dirty Harriet in here. Y'all don't have Queen Latifah's Black Rain, which is actually a better record than her other. You get what I'm saying? So it seemed like y'all just throwing shit in here and y'all didn't do no work.
Nas the GOAT asked if Most Def Black and Both Sides is on here. Yeah, I think it was at 10 something. It was up there.
That's where it belongs.
Number 6, we got Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I'm okay with that.
Number 5, Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly.
Not okay with that. Can we stop again?
Sure.
Don't you ever put To Pimp a Butterfly close to It Takes a Nation of Millions to hold us back. Don't you ever fucking do that.
Well, see,
that
this
is
is
not
the thing.
Same experience. No, they try. See what I'm saying about how they're trying to change history? They're trying to make it seem like those records have equal impacts. They do not.
They don't.
You slide that shit all the way back away from Chuck D where it belongs.
Once again, revisionist history, right?
Revisionist history.
I
To Pimp a
remember
Butterfly is not belonging anywhere next to It Takes
I
a
remember
Nation
me
of
being the
Millions.
big To Pimp a Butterfly person, and everybody else was saying Good Kid, Mad City, including Kendrick himself. He ranked his own albums. He had Damn at 2, and he had To Pimp a Butterfly at 3. Now we're trying to change the order of everything. Where To Pimp a Butterfly is the classic.
No, they're trying to make him into Chuck D. He's not Chuck. Get this shit right. He's not Chuck. He's not our savior. He's not our leader. Remember him crying on the album? About everything. I'm under so much pressure. I'm stressed out. Right. Remember him on Crown? I can't please everybody. I can't please everybody. That ain't Chuck.
It's true. Chuck took that leadership role.
This nigga went outside and then went to Ghana as soon as he got outside. I don't want to hear this shit.
Whew. Number 5, To Pimp a Butterfly. Number 4, we got Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back. Incredible album. Number 3,
hold on.
We got The Blueprint.
Stop. They went super conscious, and then it just starts getting gangster. It's like, oh, we got Blueprint and Ready to Die at 3 and 1. They don't know what they doing.
And then at number 2, you got Outkast, Stankonia. Such a weird pick. And then at number 1, you got Notorious B.I.G., Ready to Die. Okay.
These guys are weirdos, man. They got Stankonia at what?
At number 2, all time.
Stankonia's not even the second or third best album in their catalog.
This is the thing. I think
in their catalog.
No.
Y'all got it number 2 all time. This is what I mean about how, like, this is evidence they don't know shit. You could not find a motherfucker in Atlanta that thinks that's even Outkast's second best album. Do you know anybody in Atlanta that's from here, Mike, that thinks that Stankonia is Outkast's second best album?
I think there's
the second greatest rap album of all time.
I was telling somebody earlier today. I think it's a general consensus. I'm sorry, I went out for a second. I changed something up. It's a general consensus that Stankonia is Outkast's 4th best album.
Easy.
There's nobody you're gonna ask of a certain age, especially that was around when these songs and albums came out, that's gonna tell you that Stankonia is better than Southern Playalistic. Stankonia is gonna tell you that Stankonia is better than ATLians or Akumanai. No one's gonna say that. And I'm gonna get to the super chats now, guys.
Right.
I was reading the
list.
Some
super chats. I just seen it.
LP says, Mike, scroll up, missed some of the super chats. All right, let me get to some of those super chats. I didn't have my mouse or whatnot, man. I was going through the list. LP says, Nas talks about empowering women and he's a creep. Cardi talks about being a hoe and she's top 16. Shaking my head. Y'all missed some super chats. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. And y'all can start the super chats and stuff again now since I, am kind of back at the controls. But yeah, nobody's going to tell you that Stankonia is better than Akumanai, Southern Playalistic, or ATLians. Mad Max says, stop covering this list is giving me an aneurysm. I remember getting to that super chat. Let me go to some of the other super chats. Dumb It Down says, I can't believe y'all went through this whole list. It's clickbait. They get money off you clicking through the list. Y'all click through BuzzFeed articles. I mean, listen, it ain't about that. Listen, at the end of the day, I feel you guys. They're going to get their money anyway. They're Rolling Stone magazine. They've been around since 1964. The bottom line is they thrive off of being credentialized. And people need to see some of these things so that you can, as actual fans and viewers and lovers of hip-hop, understand, you know what? This ain't the place to go to for music. You need that evidence. Here's the evidence. And if we have to click an article to give 400 people that evidence at one time, I'm down to do that. 400 plus people, because it's going to be people to watch the rebroadcast too. Y'all got to see this. I know it's painful to watch, but you got to see this.
Sometimes I don't think people understand because of how big they are and because of how big their inherent following is, and how algorithms work in this digital sphere that we work. When they crank stuff out like this, This is the equivalent to the 1920s and the 30s with yellow journalism. It's false information. It's poor journalism that lacks journalistic integrity, appropriate critiques, proper context, proper placement, proper people providing the context and the placement. It is yellow journalism. When you practice yellow journalism, you reshape and reshift history for those who are not as privy to the culture as you are, to step in and audit the culture based on the words that you disseminate to the people. So when you put Cardi B's album at number 16, you're not only doing a disservice to the culture, you're doing a disservice to the future of the culture in the process.
Yeah.
That is why we're doing this.
And that is why we have to break these things down, because if you let these things go unchecked, then the record will show 5 years from now, everybody was okay with this. LP says...
hold on, no joke. This is how Hitler got in office. Like, you keep on feeding people shit. Like, people don't understand. Hitler's ascension to power took about 7 to 8 to 9 years of him pulling the same shit over and over again and taking more and more leverage until there was none left. People use that dichotomy to exercise their power in all sorts of spheres, the media being the most prevalent in the United States at doing it.
LP says it's disrespectful that they didn't even bother to do the research. Go into a hip-hop conversation and they would know how off this list is in the culture. And that's what we're doing right now. We're having a hip-hop conversation with 400 hip-hop fans live. And I'm looking forward to seeing like the rebroadcasts and, you know, the comments there too. Let me see who else we got. Man with the super chat. I'm going back and getting some super chats that I missed. He said, this list was composed by someone who thinks they know hip-hop and definitely not someone that's tuned into the history of the culture. Y'all want to see the people who did this? Well, let me put them on the screen. I got to put people on the Summer Jam screen. Where are the contributors? Oh, man, it's not letting me do it. Hold on 1 second. Do I not have the image anymore? See? God said, you know what, Mike? Don't do that to the people. Oh, there it is. These are the people that put together this list. And there was a couple of writers that didn't show their faces on their social medias. I'll go down the list of names and stuff too. But let me get to some of these super chats that I missed. It's About Damn Time says, I haven't seen this list, but Machiavelli better be on it. Nope, Machiavelli's not on it. Machiavelli didn't make the top 200 at all. Yeah, that's dumbing down. Sorry, guys, I'm catching up on the super chats, and we're going to get back to the regular scheduled program. But yes, I had to put the people on the Summer Jam screen. You know how we do. And I'm going to go through the names so y'all can find them on their social medias too, so you can let them know what you think about the list. LP, I think I'm caught up with the super chats, right? J Mar says, I'm dead serious when I say this. I think they put out 200 albums in a hat and pulled them out to do this list. Yeah, seems like it. So what was your reaction at this list? Or what were your notes? Nas the Goat says, no Lupe shaking my head. Food and Liquor or The Cool should be on this list. And it should. I agree with that. Kenneth Palmer says, Rolling Stone gave Tribe's Midnight Marauders 2 stars when it was released. Now it's the top 100. Worst list ever. What were some of your notes? Because I want to get to some of my notes.
Well, let's get to your notes.
Okay. First note, Astro World at 200, right? I think I said that when we were going through. I didn't like that. I think Astro World, I'll put it this way, because I saw a lot of albums from 2018 upward. I would be hard pressed, especially on the mainstream, to say that there are 10 to 5 albums really that I would put over Astro World like that.
From when? From what time?
From 2018 to now. And they had a number of albums from 2018 to now. And none of those albums that they had listed were better than Astro World. From 2018
to now, the only albums that I have above Astro World that would make this list, because I would take 2021 off, because it's not fair to put something in there, so we're pretty much talking from 2018 to 2020. Well, I would have Pray for Paris.
Me too.
Daytona and Victory Lap ahead of Astro World.
And Alfredo.
And Alfredo.
Yes.
That would be it. Yes.
And none of them were on the list.
Right.
So, yeah, Victory Lap not be... Okay, let's start there. because I have my notes of the stuff that didn't make the list, right? That's a whole separate note. Okay. So the albums that did not make the list, that were left off, that were blaring to me, and we were just talking about this album. Diddy's No Way Out.
I got No Way Out on my list.
How is No Way Out not on this list? How
and
is
I'm not
Mace's?
a Diddy fan.
How is Mace? Right.
I
mean, we were just talking about No Way Out. No Way Out had like 1 million singles. It made
it's too much smoke on there, Mike.
It's too much smoke on there. You got Victory.
Come on.
How you got Biggie at number 1 and you don't have No Way Out on this whole 200?
Hold on. All jokes aside, I can't think, and listen to what I'm saying, I don't think it's the best posse cut record ever, but All About the Benjamins is the biggest posse cut record ever.
It is.
That's Puff, a Deceased Big, Prime Kim, and a Hungry Locks. That record is bananas.
And the beat is crazy.
The beat is one of the best beats of all time. Kim and Big's verses, some of the best verses of all time. I told you that's her seminal verse to me.
It is.
Wanna rumble with the bee, huh? Throw a hex on the whole family.
Dressed
in all black like the Omen. Have your friends singing, "This is for my homies."
Yeah, man. I don't understand how that album's not on here.
She crazy on there. And the only thing that supersedes her being crazy is the guy that was about to be the greatest MC of all time having one of those "I'm the greatest MC of all time" type of rap performances.
I've been had skills. Cristal spills. High bills in Brazil. A lot of Miller Ice Grill. Man, come on, man. Fuck a state pen. Fuck hoes in Penn State.
Fuck hoes at Penn State.
What?
Listen close. Close. It's Francis, the praying mantis. Attack with the left. My right hand spit.
Attack with the Mac. My right hand spit. Yeah. My left hand spit. Right hand flick for the whip on the smooth getaway. Yeah, you got that. You got Young G's. You got
Will Spray. Right. Yeah.
You got that. You got Young G's. You got Victory. You got Been Around the World. You got Can't Nobody Hold Me Down. You got This
Young
Is the
G's. You got street shit on there. You got Young G's. That's big in J.
Ant Learn says recreated hip hop genre and don't own it. So what do we expect from people like them? See, this is how we do get ownership back. We need to talk about these things. They should listen. I understand everything y'all are saying, but they shouldn't even have the audacity to put together this list in the first place.
They shouldn't feel comfortable. The problem is the comfortable level.
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about the money and the power and the people backing them. It's the fact that they're comfortable doing this, and now even comfortable to the point of putting their faces up on it. It's like, well, 4 black faces out of 11 doesn't cut it for me.
And they're comfortable.
I don't know what those 4 black faces represent either, because they're attached to Rolling Stone.
But Coop, they're also comfortable doing this because they think that, you know what, they're just going to ignore this anyway. What are they going to do? Are they going to talk about it? Are they going to break this down? They're not going to do anything. And honestly, ignoring things is doing nothing.
They don't know
we outside.
It's not an action. No, they don't know we outside.
Yeah. Okay.
They know we outside. They just think they too big. I'm trying to tell you. It's like, no. They know. Like
they want the clout, but I don't know if this is what they want.
No. Like this is when a mob boss knows that the feds are taking pictures, but he still steps outside the front of the building to let them know he's not intimidated or scared. They know what they're doing. No. They know we hearing that this shit is not okay. They're literally stepping out into the front of the building while we're taking pictures to let you know. It's like, no. We're still the boss.
We're doing our job. We're doing what we got to do. Clark says, you are wrong. They did research and decided to revise the list to be inclusive and pander to new artists in the process of discrediting themselves. I don't know if they feel like it's that important to discredit themselves, but maybe. I don't know. I'm not in the psyche. So, all right, this is what was left off. Diddy No Way Out, I think that's inexcusable. Mace Harlem World, West Side Pray for Paris, Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist Alfredo.
Yep.
Outkast Other Playlistic, Outkast ATLians, Wu-Tang Forever, Coming Out Hard, 8 Ball MJG. They had UGK's Riding Dirty at 22. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you
Coming Out Hard.
Yeah, no Coming Out Hard here.
Right.
Nas Stillmatic is missing. Scarface The Fix is missing. They got Diary on there, but The Fix is missing. It came out the same year as Lord Willin' that got number 12 on your list. And The Fix was actually the best.
Superior album. It's a far superior album. I love the clips. It's a far superior album.
Another superior album that came out in that year, and you guys are going to be shocked that I say this. The Eminem Show not being on this list is shocking to me.
No. They know what they're doing. They're playing chess now.
They're playing chess now.
Don't get it twisted.
And it's unfortunate because
I just don't buy the bullshit.
The Eminem Show is not only Eminem's best album and his best mic performance and his deepest mic performance and most balanced performance, but it's the highest selling rap album of all time. So the fact that they left that one off was interesting to me. T.I.'s King, I think, could have gotten a slot on here, but they put trap music on there.
No. I got. How about this? I have trap music and King on my list.
Okay. And it should be. Section 80, I think, should have made this list.
I don't.
I think if Missy Elliott's on there 4 times, I think Section 80 should have been on this list.
I don't think that shit should have been on there either. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Below the Heavens, Blue in Exile, should have been on this list. Kanye West Graduation should have been on this list. Victory Lap should have been on this list. Dog Food by Dog Pound should have been on this list.
I don't have Dog Food in my top 100, but Dog Food would be in my next 100 to 200. Yeah. Oh, they did 200. That's right.
Yeah, they did 200. The Carter, 1. Bigger and Deffer, we talked about that. Okay. And I'm going to go to some more notes. I got a lot of notes, guys. I'm sorry. Blue Collar Hustler says food and liquor is missing. And yes, it is. You're right.
It's not. Okay, so I'm not the fan of food and liquor that everybody else is. I'm more of a fan of the Cool. The Cool would be in my top 100 to 200. I cannot promise you where food and liquor would fall on my list. I cannot promise that.
You ready for my notes? I'm gonna like breeze through my notes and then we'll get to you. If that's cool.
We can just do my list and do your notes, because if I probably do my notes, I'm probably gonna go and call white people some things.
Okay, well we'll go through my notes and then we'll go to your list, because Coop did 100 and yeah, I can't wait to get to it. So yes, the Astro World thing being at 200. I don't like MC Light as a Rock being at 185. I don't like Flo Milli being at 172. Sorry. The Soul Food at 169. I think Soul Food is a top 100 hip hop album. Pray for Haiti being 168.
Should be on the list.
And Pray for Paris ain't on there. It's mind-boggling to me.
It doesn't deserve to be on the list.
Childish Gambino's Because the Internet doesn't deserve to be on the list.
No.
And I went to that show after he put that album out. Polo G doesn't deserve to be on the list. And y'all can call me whatever. Lil Nas X's album doesn't deserve to be on this list. I don't even think he's rapping on there. Like, there's no rap bars on there. Does anybody have a Lil Nas X bar? How I Got Over, I have a problem with that being there, with Ill Half-Life not being on there. I've already talked about LL's Radio being at 147. I think that's just too low. Common B being at 145. That's incredibly low. Uzi, Eternal Atake at 143. See, again, this is what I'm talking about with the Astro World thing. Like, there's no way in hell this album's a better album than Astro World. You got this album, like, what is it? 50-something, 57 spots ahead of Astro World? That doesn't make sense. It Was Written being 140. I think that's self-explanatory. And the City Girls being 138. I think my problem with the City Girls being at 138 is the fact that it was written as at 140. Again, trying too hard. Slum Village being one spot below that with Fantastic Volume 2 at 137. And Doja Cat being one spot ahead of Fantastic with Planet Her. I don't even think she raps like that on this album. And to put that above Dilla's Masterpiece, I think just doesn't make sense.
Is that his masterpiece? Beat-wise, I mean, you're talking production-wise.
Yeah. Fantastic Volume 2. I mean, the whole legend behind Fantastic Volume 1 and the fact that people were trying to seek out this tape in Detroit. Like, I think that there could be an argument made. Fuck being an argument being made. I think this is the greatest Detroit album of all time. This is like Southern Playalistic is to Atlanta for Detroit.
What?
Yeah. Fantastic Volume 1, yes. That's Detroit.
Really? Is it like
Southern,
that?
yes, it's like that. That shit is legendary.
It's like that. No. You know,
Yeah,
Slim used to
because
tell me that
Volume
back
2
in the
was
day.
kind of a
No,
re-release.
T used to tell me that back in the day, but it's like I didn't know it was like that. Like
Yeah,
that.
Volume 2 is like a
all the time.
re-release. Like, the buzz was just so crazy, they had to put these songs back out. Like, I remember I used to go on, what was the name of that site, man? It was not LimeWire, but it was one of those sites that was before like the streaming platforms and it got shut down. Anyway, I would have to go get Volume 1 off of there.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those projects. Me Against the World being at 134, and then you got Playboy Cardi, A Whole Lot of Red at 129. I think that's just stupid and disrespectful to the life of Tupac, Amari Shakur, man. All right. Thug at 120 over Tribe's first album at 121, I thought was crazy. I think the Black Album being at 113 and the Blueprint at 3, that's crazy. Like you said, 110 spots. Death Certificate in 93, insane. And then, and I love Vince Staples. We rock with Vince Staples heavy. But he's at 84 and Death Certificate's at 93. And then Slick Rick, 82. Azalea Banks at 78. Megan's Fever at 75. No Names album at 56. Tyler at 46. Acid Rap at 36. Listen. 36. And you know what? Even the Chief Keef thing at 32, I disagree with. But at least I can note Chief Keef's impact. How is Acid Rap 36? By what stretch? We got big songs here. We got.
Were they doing acid? Were they doing acid when they made this list? Little Purple Jesus.
I don't understand the Drought 3 being at 21 either. That right there sounds like a personal list. That doesn't sound like a staff putting together a list. That sounds like one person said, you know what, man, the Drought 3 is one of my favorites.
Right. It's like, hey, well, while we're at it, can we got it for cheap Volume 2 in there and 50 Cent is the future?
Right. Man with the super chat says, Mike, no Redman on this list. This is trash and
that's me making a top 100 albums list and being like, put that Trapper.2 on there, fam.
Right. No Redman on the list. You're right, man. No Redman. Okay.
They're ridiculous.
Dirty Sprite 2 being at 20. And y'all know how much I rant and rave about Future and his impact. That's just ridiculous. Kim Hardcore being at 19.
That's ridiculous.
It's just, again.
No, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I'm going to call it what it is.
Hold on. Where did they have the Diary by Scarface ranked and they had Hardcore where? Ridiculous. All right.
And the fact that, tell me what Hardcore does that No Way Out doesn't do. No Way Out has bigger songs, too. The Style OG with the super chat says, in the immortal words of Rock Marciano, don't tear an oblique reaching. This list is the epitome of pandering, reaching, and excessive for takes of the exclusivity. And exclusivity for the sake of exclusivity. Excuse me. My man Kel's in the building, man. 007's in the building. Excuse me. He says, I got a choice words for Rolling Stone that the super chat is not allowing me to send. However, sat down and submitted this shoot me the fair one for the disrespect. Whoever sat down and submitted this, shoot me the fair one for disrespect. 007 wants to put hands on whoever put together this list. Look, the staff that put together this list, again, I'll put them on the Summer Jam screen. Let me go to some of the names here. Some of the names on this article are... see, it's not letting me load up again. Rolling Stone's like, yo, you guys got to stop. Charles Aaron. We got Mancapper Cote. John Dolan. We got Will Dukes. My man Will Dukes right here, the one that y'all...
Remember Will?
Yeah, we remember Will. Dwayne Gage. Joe Gross. Corey Grow. Christian Howard. Jeff Asai. Julissa Lopez, excuse me. Mossy Reeves. Yosh Phillips. Noah Shamakman, Rob Sheffield, Simone, and Christopher Wigarnin. Yeah.
So hold on. Here's what I just thought. Did they all submit their own top 200 lists and then it just all got mashed together and tallied up?
I don't know. Someone needs to give us some answers.
Somebody needs to give us their list. How about this? It's like all of these contributors, there are 11 of them, correct?
Yep.
I want to see their respective 200 separately.
Yeah. I think it's like.
I mean, and I say this, hold on, and I'm not joking when I say this. I say this for the credibility of the black people that are up on this screen that needs to happen.
Let's see. Let's put them back up. Yeah. How much say so did you have, Will? Will talks to you guys when y'all reach out to him on Twitter. So maybe Will can give us some insight.
No, he didn't reach out when I smoked his ass. No, he did not.
He was just responding to people
everybody else be running when I be pulling up. Dudes be running when I be pulling up. It looks very shaky how these niggas be behaving.
All right. So Kim at 19, Yeezus at 17, I had a problem with. Obviously, Cardi B's Invasion of Privacy at 16. We're talking about all-time great hip-hop albums over the past 40-plus years of this genre. 2001, 13, I think that my problem with 2001 being at 13, I think for whatever reason, The Chronic is being sidestepped and its legacy to be replaced by 2001 for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And it seems very blatant. Even with the Super Bowl performance, we didn't see much of The Chronic. We saw all 2001 pretty much. I'm just saying. Lord Willem being at 12, I think is ridiculous. Drake, Take Care being at 11. Listen, if you're telling me that you can't name 11 albums better than Drake's Take Care, you don't know much hip hop. I mean, let's just say it like it is. Lauren being at 10 with Miseducation because it's not a hip hop album. That's an R&B album. And I love Lauren and I love that album. I think it's one of the greatest albums ever made. It's just not one of the greatest hip hop albums ever made. I mean, I'm sorry. It's just been too much rapping that's been done on too high of a level for me to say that that's one of the 10 best hip hop albums ever made. Just to be fair. Miss E So Addicted being at 7. Obviously, I had an issue with that. I think that's just stupid. And I love Missy.
I love Missy.
I hate to do it to you. Being at 3.
It's like, I hate to do it to you. Like my favorite auntie. Get your ass off my lawn.
Dickens says, shaking my head. What up, Mike? What up, Coop? Stop talking about this garbage magazine. They never loved hip-hop. Tired of hearing of them. The magazine
No, let's talk about, you want to know what he's right. Let's talk about my list.
We'll talk about your list. Let's go to your list. And what I was going to say, too, man, I mean, are y'all down to put together a list with us? Because we're thinking about doing like a tournament bracket with all of the great hip-hop albums of all time that you guys choose, and we'll just put it up in the polling section to see who gets to the next round. That way we'll have a real list that's chosen by the people. You know what I'm saying? 007 says, tell old boy with the Yankee hat to take that off. It's a misrepresentation of the culture. He don't deserve it. I take my list back once I see the final draft and say, don't put my name on that, respectfully.
Right.
Well, yeah, right. These people's names.
He's saying something strong right there. If they ask you to contribute, like, you can give the money back.
Yeah, like, I want to see the final list.
Give the money back and get your integrity back.
These people don't care.
I don't want to participate in this. I still got the bag sitting right here. Take this bag. Ghostface Killer with it.
Mad Max says, LOL, seeing the faces makes me want to pick up a gun and get back on the ops. Y'all are wildin'. Michael Williams of the Super Chat says, in 2020, Rolling Stone made a list of the 500 greatest albums of all time. Illmatic was number 44, while The Blueprint was number 50. 2 years later, they say The Blueprint is the third best rap album ever, above Illmatic. Make it make sense. Sounds like somebody got their hands greased. I don't know. That sounds weird to me.
I'm going to say this again. Somebody in their team pays for a lot of what they have, and that's not to say that he's not talented. That's not to say he's not one of the greatest MC of all time, but I know too many people on the inside that have told me this motherfucker is paid for shit. All right?
The Blueprint
we're gonna stop
3.
acting like that part of the game didn't happen.
The Blueprint is at number 3. I clearly have an issue with that. I don't even want to get into
stop acting like he didn't pay for anything. That's another thing we're going to do.
Stankonia at number 2. Y'all know me, man.
That's just bad.
I'm the outcast guy on this pod.
Let me tell you something. No, Mike, can I tell you something I thought about the other day? You know how bad this Stankonia pick is for us AT aliens? Is that I was actually listening to AT aliens the other day, and for the first time, I understood why people really think that it's better than Southern Playalistic.
I think this is, and I agree with you. And to piggyback on that, I think them choosing Stankonia and putting it this high and leaving off AT aliens and Southern Playalistic is a knock on Outkast's legacy. It's a misrepresentation.
It's a knock to hip-hop. It's not the hip-hop.
But I'm just saying.
They're rap albums, Mike. Their first 2 albums are their rap albums.
I'm just saying. Let's think about a kid or somebody who wasn't around, right? And they hear all this stuff about Outkast, and they look at an article like this, and they see Stankonia is number 2 on this list. Like, oh, that's their best piece of work. And so they go play Stankonia first. It might not even get to the other ones. So you know what I'm saying?
And I guarantee you, Mike, I can promise you this: if we did separate, if these writers did separate lists, I guarantee you the reason that Stankonia is so high is because of all those 40-year-old white people that didn't hear fucking Outkast until their freshman year of college on their 4th album, and they just got their mind blown. Meanwhile, we're like, these guys sound like they're breaking up. Because those people that made this list don't know shit. If you heard Stankonia, we heard a group that was breaking up. The white people heard the greatest rap group ever. And we're looking like, no, the greatest rap group ever is breaking up. Like, what are you white people talking about? Because they're not part of this culture like that. And I'm not talking all white people. I'm just talking about the sphere of writers that exist even on the hip-hop side in terms of how they look at shit. Stankonia is the 4th best album in Outkast catalog. They only got a catalog of 4 rap albums together, Mike.
I would imagine if you asked 10 people who know Outkast and know their catalog, they're all going to tell you Stankonia is their 4th best album. There are people that even are more, diverse when it comes to Kanye's catalog. You got people who like Late Registration. You got people who like Graduation. You got people that like College Dropout. You got people that like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to Cass, you're either gonna say Southern Playalistic's number 1,
Uno Dos Tres,
AT Aliens is number 1, or Kumina is number 1. Stankonia is not in that conversation.
No, that 4th album is not. Because here's the thing about it: the first 3 albums are undisputed classics to us.
Yeah,
that 4th one is not.
They're actually a rap group on those albums.
Popular culture, i.e., the mainstream and white people, made Stankonia a classic. We never called Stankonia a classic.
Never. I remember buying Stankonia on Halloween. And I've been listening to Kumina like all week, and I was like, listen, I'm not going to have any expectations for this album. I know it's not going to be a Kumina, whatever. When I first listened to Stankonia, y'all, I appreciate it more now, but I was disappointed. Mm-hmm. And first off, I was disappointed for the lack of bars from Andre. He wasn't. This was the first time. People have to understand. This is the first time you buy an Outkast album, and first of all, you're skipping songs. And second of all, Andre's not rapping all the time.
No.
That was a different thing then.
No, we can gauge it actually about how the 3 previous albums begin versus how Stankonia begins. The first record on Southern Playalistic is my intro to let you know.
Yeah.
The first records on AT Aliens is 2 Dope Boys in a Cadillac. The first record on Aquemini is Return of the Gangster. Don't tell me that Gasoline Dreams is even in the same stratosphere.
It's not. And records. I like that song.
Even the album starts off different, Mike. Even the album starts off different. It's like, that's how y'all starting off? It's like, if you're an Outkast fan, you're worried when you hear Gasoline Dreams.
I mean, Andre said it himself.
You just got done listening to Return of the Gangster and 2 Dope Boys in a Cadillac to start off the 2 previous rap albums. Gasoline Dreams.
Andre said it himself.
Hold on, they started off an album with a Goody Mob member rapping by himself on. I was like, when have they ever done that? I'm like, Cool Joe's rapping on Gasoline Dreams, like the start off of Outkast album. I'm like, it's not like a Goody Mob posse. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You're right. No, you're right, 100%. I mean, Andre said it himself that when they made Stankonia, they were mad at hip hop. They were just kind of just throwing things together to see what they could make. They weren't trying to make a classic. Dickens with the super chat says, Mike and Coop, thank you. You guys are the true hip-hop mag on here. It's our people who determine what's the best in hip-hop. Yes, and that's why we have these conversations. Unfortunately, we have to go through these lists and break it down, but if we sit there and talk about it briefly without actually analyzing it, we sound like we just mad. We want to break it down.
I am mad. They don't know what they're doing.
Los Almighty 24 says, I mean, the listening or minstrel show would have been nice. The listening's on there. Minstrel show's not.
They picked the wrong album.
They picked the wrong album because they're not listening.
Sure.
No pun intended. 007 says, Coop, side note, I listened to Liquid Swords and Do or Die twice back to back in the car and the gym. Do or Die is better, and AZ's rapping like his head is on fire. I
so
disagree
I'm going to tell you what,
with
the mic performances
Go ahead.
are actually comparable. Beats on Liquid Swords are better, and that's why Liquid Swords is better and so high.
I might be listening to the beats.
And actually, listen to what I'm about to say, even for all the smoke I gave RZA, his best collection of beats is the Purple Tape. His best job as an executive producer is Liquid Swords. His best job as an executive producer is Liquid Swords.
You know, I feel slightly different. I mean, I don't totally disagree, but I always thought his job as an executive producer of Dirty's album had to be one of the craziest experiences ever. And
not the GZA was there too and wrote most of that album, so it wasn't as crazy for him. He had the GZA there.
And honestly, the GZA's album sounds so different than everything else. You could correlate Ghost and Ray obviously with each other. You could correlate Old Dirty's album with Takao. But what the Genius did with Liquid Swords, that don't even sound like Wu-Tang. I mean, it sounds like Wu-Tang shit in tone, but as far as the themes, it's hard to explain.
No. Okay, so can I tell you the one RZA note that I didn't share from all those notes that I shared?
What's that?
I said Liquid Swords took a lot out of him.
I could see that.
It's beat wise, the Purple Tape is his masterpiece. As a producer, it's Liquid Swords. As an executive producer, like putting a project together, the way Liquid Swords is put together, the beat selection, the song structure, the seamless transition, where the artists are placed. Yeah, Liquid Swords.
Brian says, Coop, your reaction to the Marshall Mathers LP placement was a little wild. When you know there are far worse rankings on this list, does Eminem have a top 200 album?
No. Hold on. There were two things that happened with that placement. First of all, by placing him with those other all-time great rap albums, you're giving him a hall pass by doing that. Next, it's like literally...
It was strategically placed.
Well, I mean, no. And listen to what I'm saying. Well, if you have Reasonable Doubt at 26, Illmatic at 24, Aquemini at 27, and the Infamous at 28, well, we can take Marshall Mathers out of that. You just don't know what the fuck you're talking about right there. How about that? How about those are 3 top 10 rap albums and another borderline top 10 rap album right there, and y'all got it hovering around the back end of 25 to 30. You don't know shit. How about that?
Let's get to your list then.
They got the Infamous at 28 and Aquemini at 27.
The Marshall Mathers LP is better than the Infamous, remember? I'm Slim Shady, that's better than, it shook, because ain't no such things as halfway crooks. Or they're right on par with each other, right? You know what I'm saying? Give up the goods and I am whatever you say I am.
What Eminem did on the Marshall Mathers LP is on par with Jay's mic performance on The Evils in 22 Twos and Nas's mic performance on Memory Lane in The World Is Yours.
Yeah.
Apparently that just happened according to this panel.
Yeah, Stan is right there on par with The World Is Yours.
Hold on. With Prodigy, Tupac, and Andre 3000's best shit kicking somewhere behind that.
I mean,
People talking about my reaction was wild. No, these niggas wild. Like the 4 niggas on the screen and the white people surrounding them and the institutional racism taking place. That's very problematic.
Listen, man, I told you, man, we have to judge the music on the music, and us giving Marshall Mathers so many passes over the years and acting like this shit was more classic than it was, this is where it gets you. LP says, they don't respect traditional hip-hop music. They only like hip-hop when the artist tries to experiment. They prefer electro sounds over JBs and funk samples. That's what it seems. I mean, because even Missy being where she is, That's all production. Ain't no bars on that.
I think that the whole comment, like the fact that, like, just the fact that 2001 is so high ahead of the Chronic, just lets you know what they're trying to do. It's like, oh, you don't want people to remember the day the niggas took over and Little Ghetto Boy and the social themes involved with the Chronic.
I'm gonna say
2001.
this.
No, listen what I'm saying. 2001 has no social themes and no timeless themes, but the Chronic does.
Yep.
Let Me Ride. Hold on. Listen what I'm saying. Even Let Me Ride, the timeless theme, where there's really not anything violent going on. Dre is actually talking about a day in his neighborhood where he might have to do something, but nothing happens. Let Me Ride is his version of A Good Day by Ice Cube.
You know, this is the thing, man. And you're right. It feels like to me, and I'm watching this like happen in real time. They're trying to replace the Chronic and what it means with 2001.
I will not let them do that. We will not let them do that.
No.
Little Ghetto Boy is the best song on the Chronic. I'm not going to let them do it.
Straight up.
Straight up, Little Ghetto Boy is the best song on the Chronic.
When Dre Day comes in, listen, I was one of those people, and I think because, 2001 came out my senior year in high school, right? And that was the album. That was what everybody was riding to. It's a great
Freshman
album.
year college.
You got Explosive. Yep. You got,
Still DRE.
Still DRE, obviously. You got, the next episode.
Next episode.
Really wasn't bumping Forgot About Dre like that.
Remember what's the difference was getting played?
Yeah. You got The Watcher. Like, the album was banging. And the production was so clean. I was like, man, I haven't heard nothing like this, like, ever. But if you go back and listen to The Chronic is just a much better album. It just is what it is.
It is.
It just is.
I always tell people, if you want to hear Dr. Dre's best beats, go to Chronic 2001. You want to hear his best album, listen to The Chronic.
And see, 2001 came out in my primitive years, and where The Chronic came out kind of before my time. I mean, I heard the singles because that's all that, was getting played, but, I ain't have my hands on the disc like that. I was like, 10 years old. So, but when you go back as an adult and listen to both of those albums, like The Chronic is so ahead of the curve. I can't believe that album came out 30 years ago.
When I was outside, Mike, you know what I'm saying? Like The Chronic hits different for me. It's like I was 11. I spent that summer on Memorial Drive. It's like, it was tag team Whoop There It Is, and niggas playing The Chronic when they weren't playing Whoop There It Is. That's all I heard that summer. It was outside. I heard every record off that album from all the dope boys outside on Memorial Drive. I walked to the Blimpie. They playing D's Nuts, or the day the niggas took over.
That beat for These Nuts is crazy.
Yeah, that was the thing. All the homies in the Chevys in the parking lot, they used to just let that thing bang and let their trunk rattle on Memorial Drive. Like, I remember that shit.
The Chronic is Death Row. Like, Death Row Records exists because of that album.
There's no Death Row without the Chronic. Mike, there's no
Doggy
West
Style
Coast
is part
resurgence
2
without the Chronic. Like, people have to understand, the West Coast resurgence really consisted of Ice Cube selling records. Wasn't nobody else doing shit until the Chronic happened. Ice Cube was selling records.
And Ice Cube's thing was more of like, because Ice Cube went to the East Coast to do, America's Most. And obviously he's always going to rep the West. But as far as like the collective of the West Coast getting on, that's the Chronic. Where you got Dog Pound, you got Rage, you got Snoop, like them ganging up on records. Because
here's the thing.
Cube was like the quintessential soloist.
Well, here's what I think people forget. NWA originally was the whole neighborhood in Compton. It's like 25 deep. All Dre did for the Chronic was do what Easy did for the original NWA again, except for he had better resources, more money, and better talent. Right. Yeah. Like when Easy started it with the drug dealing homies in Compton. Dre's got the mixing board, the studio, the platinum plaques, the DOC, Snoop Dogg, Corrupt, Daz, Rage, RBX. That shit different, Mike.
The Chronic's a team effort.
Shit different.
Jordan House with the super chat says it's kind of interesting that they're downplaying the Chronic the same year Snoop took the Death Row albums off streams. The Chronic was like, how Jay be taking off, like when Jay got Tidal, how he made it where like you couldn't get Reasonable Doubt on other streaming platforms. Dre did that with the Chronic first. Like, I remember the Chronic wasn't on any of the streaming platforms. Only 2001 was. And so when I got Apple Music, because I used to be with Spotify back in the day, Dre did that deal with Apple Music, and the Chronic was only on there. Now I don't know if it's on other ones now, but it just lets you know the Chronic was special, and that was like his, that's his. I mean, Doggy Style is special to Snoop. Same thing with the Chronic. The Chronic built Death Row. The place that the Chronic has in history, Chronic's top 10. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get to my list, and I'm gonna get to your list too. We need to get to your list. We like almost 2-something hours in. We got to get to
all I know is that Mike, like, I still like, this is me as a kid. Some of the verses I remember: wake up, jump up out my bed. I'm in a 2-room cell with my homie Lil Half Dead. Murder was the case that they gave me. Dear God, I wonder, can you save me?
Yo, Little Ghetto Boy to me is the X Factor.
In East Atlanta, when he said that shit, it was like looking into your future too. Like niggas, like, you know what I'm saying?
Even Dre's verse, where he's talking about, you know what I'm saying? These young
that's
niggas.
What things done changed from Ready to Die is sampled from Little Ghetto Boy.
Of course. I mean, Murder Was the Case is sampled from Little Ghetto Boy. Little Ghetto Boy is an X Factor record.
Little Ghetto Boy is one of the best rap songs ever, Mike.
Yeah. Brian says Eminem had the best mic performance on The Blueprint and 2001. It might be strategic how high they place those albums as well. He does not have the best mic performance on The Blueprint or 2001.
He did have the best mic performance on 2001. I think that verse on Forgot About Dre is the best verse on there.
What do you say to somebody you hate and anyone try to bring trouble your way? One of all things that are bloody your way.
All things that are bloodier way than to study a tape of NW. No, that's the best verse on there. It is.
Is it?
I'm gonna give him that, but I'm not giving him that other one though. It is the best verse.
I always thought the best verse.
How about this? Lyrically speaking, his verse on Forgot About Dre is the best verse on there, and the most touching song on there is The Watcher, which he wrote. So we're going to give him that.
I give him that. I always thought that the best verse on 2001 was Corrupt's verse on Explosive. That's just me.
I don't love that verse like everybody else does. I think he can just do better as an MC.
And I also love Exhibit's verse on What's the Difference.
I can give you Exhibit's verse on What's the Difference. I like Exhibit's verse on What's the Difference.
Never knew about the next level until Dre did it. I play with while you motherfuckers babysit it. I slam the critics like an overhand right from Riddick.
Now hold on, but this whole best mic performance on the Blueprint thing?
That's just trolling. I see you over there, Brian. Don't do Jay like that.
Go listen to Lyrical Exercise. Okay.
I was going to say go listen to You Don't Know, but you know.
Either way.
Whatever.